I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just so it's be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. Running from the lights, slip and get up. Thinking about the bullshit, leading right up. Mama told me one day you run out of luck. Now I'm looking up, quick tail catching up. Born into that trench mind, niggas had no straight mind. Only thing we know is break a bitch and push that bread line. Head be filled with crazy shit like shorty had my head tied like bitch. So now you ain't coming to me about no bedtime. Ain't no keep it real, I really feel like the pressure is really on me. I know pressure is a bitch, but I don't let feelings control me. I know I've been getting cold and my niggas was flaking on me. So I had to bet some bitches at some parties. But don't blame me for it, don't blame me for it. I'm too G for it. Just watch me going, no brakes. Just keep top speed flooring. Bless me, test me, line me up, I know that I'm the next thing. Praying so don't catch me and arrest me. Hope that every night I make it in my best sleep. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just so it's be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just so it's be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. Running from the lights, slip and get up. Even about the bullshit, leading right up. Mama told me one day you run out of luck. Now I'm looking up, control catching up. Alright, I ain't resist, but don't take my chain. No, you can't search my shit. Know how it goes. These just praying that shit. Give me my chance before my grave is dig. Bless me, test me, line me up, I know that I'm the next thing. Praying so don't catch me and arrest me. Hope that every night I make it in my best sleep. I hope I'm never sitting courtside. Shit happened so quick it felt like there was no time. Body was programmed just so it's be on go time. I think the clouds are on free. This ain't shit that all the homies can be. Running from the lights, slip and get up. Thinking about the bullshit, leading right up. Mama told me one day you run out of luck. Now I'm looking up, quick tail catching up.
Lewis, observing the facts. So we're gonna look at the facts today. Hey, Trey. Whoa. Good. Hey, Sammy. Hey, y'all. Hey, Gina. So here it is. I'm turning my mic off in a few. My camera off in a few minutes because I want to be even more comfortable. This is why I'm turning my camera off. Okay, I look like Alibaba's mama. Get your laugh on. Because I don't feel like doing my hair today. I don't feel like doing it. So I'm turning it off. Hey, hey. So what I thought would be helpful today is, and I think it's a fun thing to do. I'm waiting for Copper Aborigines to pop his butt in here. Cause then he gonna be like, damn. But anyway, shout out to everybody watching. Smash the like button. Um, hey, hey. So I thought today we would work on a project together because it's whatever I can do to make things make more sense about um our genealogy. It's so important. Like we are like killing these DNA tests. Those are just like really dead. The DNA tests ain't nothing in the government's eyes. Not these these this crap. Hey, money. Hey, sexy lady. So we're killing it with our ancestry, and um we're starting to feel very comfortable about our history here on the mainland. It's what I teach, it's what I do. Genealogy is my thing, and I think of all kinds of creative ways to get the audience to visually see what I'm talking about, because sometimes you can explain things, but we just have to see it. And I know I'm that way in a lot of instances. Hey, Juice. And I like to give you creative things that you can do. You know, they're like, gosh, we got all these census sheets, 1790, 1800, all these census sheets. And we're going to have a fun project. And I'm going to show you what you can do. Um, and if you're good with Excel, Excel is just a spreadsheet. That's all it is. Just something that you type data on. And we're going to go through it. So this is why I asked you to have your calendar, because it's simple math. Simple math. And I love this project. I'm starting to teach young ones about these how to work the spreadsheets, and really, you know, it's something that you can put in the front of your binder. um I'm working on binders now for people that ordered it, because genealogy started back. I'm already booked out through the whole month of February, so forget it. I'm not even. I have a waiting list of people whose genealogies I'm going to do, and that's not going to start until March, because I'm working on these books for people that have already ordered them, and it's not a point of them waiting on me. It's me waiting on them to get their current family members, so we can get them on a organizational chart. So I'm starting that up coming in February as well. You know, it's not that many people, thank God, because it's a lot of work. And I just want to show you something else that I'm working on for each of those books. And it's so helpful. And we're going to do a blank one from scratch. And I'm showing you not for you to do it the way I do it. And then you might like the way I'm doing it. And you might find another creative way to do it, to read and understand census sheets. Once you got all of them, how do you look at them? How do you evaluate them? And this is going to be a great project. So does everybody have their calculators? Unless you're just like a brainiac when it comes to simple math, adding and subtracting, very simple math. I need my calculator, and I got it right here. This baby right here. You get these out of Walmart or CVS. I got mine's out of Staples, you know, because they give our Y a discount. I get it out of Staples, and I keep it handy, especially when I'm doing genealogy and figuring things out. So let's get into the spreadsheet. You ready? I hope you have your calculators. You have one on your cell phone, just so you know. So my camera's going off. I'm going to do a share screen. Wow, we got a lot of people up in here. This must be an interesting topic. All right, where did it go? Here it is. All right, let's try and make sense of this. I got to go back. Okay, here it is. Can everybody see this? Hey, Lady Moon. Everybody cool? Is this big enough? I can't make it any bigger. This is about as big as I can get it. Hey. Isn't this? So we're going to use a fake name. We're going to act like we're we have all our census sheets in our book. I'm going to hide this. Okay. So here are the column headings. Census year, last name, first name, color. This is the color of your skin. Age, birth year. Of course, it's the birth year of the head of household. Birthplace, father's birthplace, mother's birthplace, and ancestor on the land. All right. So we have what we call the 1790 census, and every 10 years they come out. So we only done 18 to up to 1850. Because don't forget, between these years, we have 1790, 1800, 1810, 1820, 1830, 1840, and we just not too long ago did the 1850. But guess what? The 1860 is going to come out, 70, 80, 90, 1900. All these census sheets are lacking, but we still got the bodies. Hey, Queen Mai, beauty, beauty, beauty. So everybody got that? Give me a 1 if you're with me, because it's going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Now, let's see if we got any young bunkins out there. We do. All right. We're going to do some fake names. I'm going to pick one person in the audience. And do we have anybody in the audience that was born in the 2000s? If we got somebody born in the 90s, the 80s, or 70s, that would be awesome. Anybody born in the 2000, well, the 90s or the 80s or the 70s? Okay, 85. All right. So guess what? We're going to observing the facts. So OTF. All right, that's what we're gonna work with. This is OTF's fake family. OTF. Ooh. OTF. He was born in 1985. Woo-wee. So now, he was born in 1985. So now, we know the first census was the 1790 census, and guess what? That census only consisted of the colonial folks. Does everybody understand that? This was really literally the colonial folks and some of our people that wanted to work for them on their farms. So I'm going to put a big old green line right here. Now, what we did have, what you got to understand with 1790, we had non-population schedules too. Non-population. Remember those we did the other day when I went live? Non-population. Most of those are literally our ancestors. Those non-population schedules. They didn't look at us as part of the colonials because we weren't. We were Indians living freely on our lands. Give me a one. We were not part of the United States system. There you go. So now that brings us to when we began. These schedules were agricultural schedules. Seriously. Agricultural schedules. Because we lived on our farmlands. Literally. But the beautiful thing is, even though they were the agricultural schedules, because we and a lot, I mean, when I talk about thousands of our ancestors, let me just put this down for a minute because I gotta turn my camera on. When we're looking at um the 1800 census, 1810, 1820, 1830, 40, 50, 60, we were they began enumerating us, but thousands of us didn't get enumerated because it depends how many acres we had. Sometimes it was a family that had like about lived on like 5 acres of land down south. Literally 5 acres. Or it was a family that had like 50 acres, right? Down south. And they only used like 3 acres of it for farmland, right? And the rest families lived on other parts of they had houses built on the land on other parts of those 50 acres. They were all families. That's why you see them all next door to each other. When you're looking at the census sheet, you're going to see that. I'm like, damn, just a whole family right next door, all on the same land, all on the farmland, all the land's connected. And a lot of them were not enumerated. But what they did do eventually was count the whole number of people. So, like, if you had like 50 acres, right? And you had like 5 families that lived on that farm, and it was a lot. Because when you look at the census sheet, it just keeps going. Then you're like, okay, this starts another family, but it's the same last name. That's their kids that had kids and got a wife and had more kids. And so what they did was counted the whole number of persons so that everybody could be accounted for. So they counted everybody. You see the next door neighbors, and then the last name will change finally because there's other another family with a whole nother last name connected to your land, but it's their land. That's where you get the property lines at and things of that nature. And then it changes. And that's very interesting. So what they began doing is they had to count the whole number of persons on those farms that were not enumerated so that they could have the correct number of representatives in Congress. That's when this is after the Reconstruction, after the admission of all the states and things of that nature. So they began counting, when you say whole number of people, all the damn people that was on one farm. And you could end up having like 100 people on your farm. All of them are family members. Betty Jean kids, Betty Lou kids, Mama Jean kids, everybody kids, and their husbands on the farms. On the farms. And so they began counting it that way. And then, of course, time and society has changed. So I thought that was interesting for you to know. So that's what you're looking at when you see the 1800, all these crazy censuses. And it just says farm, own, own farm, own farm, own farm, own. They just owned it. All right. So let's get back to the sheet, the fun stuff. Okay, it should be up. All right. So here we go. So now we have OTF that's who's born in 1985. So now we're going to take 1985 and subtract the very first census year, 1790. 1985 minus 1790. That's 195 years. Y'all get that, right? Because he was born in 85. And since his little stinking butt came in 1980, there's been 195 years since the first census was created, which was 1790. And every 10 years, a new census comes out. So y'all with me, right? Here's all the fun stuff. So now, OTF was born in 85. And I'm going to put some funky stuff up because I got to put up my, what you call it that I had up. I think I still got it up. Where is it? Oh, I got to pull it up. I'm going to go to it. Going to it right now. Tree. Dee. All right. So now we're just making up some names. Fake stuff. So we got OTF, and then OTF mother was born in 1960, in the 60s. So her last name is, okay, OTF. I'm going to call him Randy. What the hell is his first name? So he's, today, he's Indian because he changed his name. I should respectfully ask him. OTF. What? Oh, you saying your mom was born in 1962. Okay, we'll get there. OTF, how do you identify? Do you say Indian, American Indian, or Aboriginal? Which one do you use? At least we can do your name. Well, so we're going to say he's 40 years old. All right, cool. He was born in 1985. What state were you born in, boo boo butt? Come on, you got to go fast. You got to go fast for me, OTF. What state? Just give me a state. All right. Where was daddy born? What state was daddy born in? And mommy? New York for dad, New York for mom. Hey. All right. Everything else from here on is going to be made up. All right. So we're putting them on here, and they was here definitely. All right. So now we the next person we got is his mom, born in 1962. Her name is Lula. Okay, his mom. Mom Lula or Mom OTF. I'm not putting no real names. And her name is Lula. She's Indian. She's born in 62. So that's going to make her about 62. What I'm just making up numbers. She was born in 1962. Birthplace. Um, he said New York. Father knew her mom. Where was your mother's mom and dad born? OTF. I called your mama's name is Lula today because we don't want to use real names. What state was your mom born in? Oh, he did say New York, and his dad was New York. Okay, got it. That's right. So now Lula's mom. We ain't finished. This is gonna be fun. This is so fun. Let me get my little. Where's my little thingy? So now I don't pretty much need that much of his help. So now his grandma was born in 1948. I'm just playing around here. O T T OTF Granny. OTF Granny. Okay. Her name is Susie. And she is in the 40s they was calling them Negroes. Well, nope, they was calling them coloreds and Negroes. They was calling them both. So she's 72. Well, no, sorry, 76. She was born in 1948. And where was Granny born? Oh, I'm making it up. That's right. Ooh, wait a minute. I'm just making stuff up now. South Carolina. Father was born South Carolina. Everybody was born in South Carolina. Then we got her mom, dad. We got his great grandma, great grandma. Okay, OTF, great OTF, great grandpa, great papa, great papa. How did that happen? Oh, I hate when that happens. There we go. Great papa. He was born, his name is David. He's definitely listed as colored. David is, how old is David? We'll give him a year. So we're gonna figure out David was born in 1928. So and he's deceased, of course. 19. Okay, so we're gonna go the current year 2025 minus 1928. He would be 97 years old if he was alive. He was because he was born in 1928. All right. He was born in South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina. All right. So This places your ancestor in South Carolina in 1928. And now, here's the funky part. He was born in 1928. Now, we got to do this right. We got to do this right. So now, Grandpa David was, no, we'll do this last. What the hell? What the hell? Now we're going to go with his great grandpa, born in 1907. All right. So we're going to call his great OTF great great papa. Okay. Oh, I hate when that happens. Why does that happen? This thing stinks. I hate when this happens. This is the fun stuff. We're gonna do the last part later. We got to get this filled up. Great grandpa's name is Oscar. No, we'll call him Odell. and he was he's colored, of course. So he was born in 1907. 1907. And so 2025 minus 1907 minus 1907. He would be 118 years old. He was born just South Kakalaki. All right, we'll do the last row for the fun. Now, his papa was born in 1878. And we're going to call him GGG Papa. And his name is Butch. He's colored. And so he was born in 1878. So it's 2025. It's year 2025 now, minus 1878. He would be, if he were alive, 147 years old. Boing, boing, boing. So let's see who's the next person. The next person is his great 4Gs. And his name is Wilbur. He's colored. And he was born in what year we putting him at? 1851. So he would be alive. So 2025 minus 1851. He would be 174. Oh boy, we still got to go. Now, his papa was born in 1825. Woo-wee. Why is this up here? I got these in the wrong place. That's why it look crazy. That's why it looks crazy. All right, 1907. We got to move these up in the right areas. Cut. Okay, 1878 would be right here. That's why it looked crazy. 78. All right, born in 1870s. All right, my bad. Y'all see how this is going. This is fun stuff, though. You'll see to understand the whole thing after we finish the fun stuff. So 1870s, you'll be right here. 1850s, you go up here. Cut. That's why it's so close. Paste. 1851. All right. Got to put them in the years that they was born. 1907 puts this person up one. Cut. Oop. Paste here. All right. Now we got it right. Boing, boing, boing. Duh, Bethy. All right. We're going. This is really cool. So we got them in their prospective years, 40s, 20s, 1907. All right, now we're moving up the scale. Now, Wilbur, all right, now we're 1850, and now we're 1825. Okay, this is 5 Gs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Papa. Oh, it makes me crazy. All right. And his daddy's name is Billy. No, we're gonna put Eddie. Eddie. And he's colored. And 1820. So he was born in 1820. What year was he born? 1825. 1825. Now, 2025 minus 1825. He would be 200 years old had he been alive. Now, so let's say I gotta put where they are, all born in South Kakalaki. Same place. All right. Now, now I'm going to put down names here and I'm going to fill these in. OTF. This is OTF's grandson. And his name is Otis. Because he was born in the year 2000. All right. We're going to just put their last name at Johnson. And his name is Otis. And we got So now Otis. And we could fill that in later. All this. So all right, now I could take this down so I can see y'all. All right, so now we got our little sheet, right? Now we're going to fill these in these blank spots. We can, but we don't have to. They're blank for a reason. Little Otis now is in the day. He Indian because he was born in 2000. So he's 25 years old now. He was born in year 2000. And he was born in New York. New York, New York. All right. Now, what we're going to do, these should be green. I don't know why this isn't green. Oh, I hate when it's not color coded, right? All right. Now I think we got it. And these should be bold. All right. So now we're looking at our sheet. We'll hit the save because we got all the years in. So we went back to OTF's fifth generation grandpa. He would be 200 years old. Okay. Hey, go forward. Hey, Light King. Hey, Kataba. Hey, y'all. My Lisa. I love y'all. Hey, Jeremy Royster. All right. So now check this out. So now little Otis, OTF Jr., is now doing his genealogy. And he got ancestors on this land so far 200 years, because his fifth generation grandfather would have been 200 years old. That means 200 years on this damn soil. Give me a 1 if you get that. 200 years on the damn soil. Now, we already got the records put in Wilbur here in 1850. Okay, this is before slavery days. This is right in the slavery days. Okay, slavery days. Supposedly this horrible root story that they tell you, right? Well, first of all, oh, and I could turn my camera on for this. I could turn my camera on. They tell you this little slave story for 1850, right? So I'm like, well, you hear the root story, you hear Pan Africans running around talking about your African. Okay, but how come in 1850, because slavery wasn't over until 1865, why is it that these thousands of South Carolinians is living on a land that they own? How did the slave, does that make any sense? They own their own land and they're on South Carolina. They've been there for 200 years, had they been alive. Even if he's dead in this soil, which you go down south in South Carolina, all them Negro graves, may I say, colored graves, thousands of them. If their body is in that grave, that's 200 years. 200 years that you've been on this mainland with your family. Okay. There's no slave ship that bought his fifth generation grandfather here because they own their own farm. He was born now. He was born in 1825. Now you get to scratching your head like, wait a minute. There's nothing indicating in your records that he's a born slave and he was born into slavery. Y'all got a record saying he, Papa Eddie was born into slavery? Because he got a big giant farm that he works on down south with his family. And there's a 1820 census. Okay, this is the good part. You got to catch it. All right, let me get back over to my little cute little paper. Now, We have the 1820 census. This is the hot spot right here. Boing, boing, boing. Let me highlight it because this is where we are. You got an 1820 census, okay? And you got an 1830 census. Because if he was born in 1825, he's not going to be, if he was born in 1825, he's not going to be on the 1820 census. But he's going to be 5 years old on the 1830 census, right? This puts Papa Eddie on the records because he was born in 1825. I should make this yellow. I think yellow sticks out better. All right. Papa Eddie was born in 1825. So this is the census his butt's going to be on. In 1825, Papa Eddie was 5 years old. Right? Y'all with me? That's the census he's going to be enumerated on. He's going to be 5 years old on the 1830 census. Correct? And so you don't find no record of Eddie, right? But you know, because Eddie's daddy was born in 1810. Boing, boing, boing. Hang on. This is the fun part. Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Let's get back to our paper. So now, Eddie is not, he's going to be on the 1830 census. So his daddy, boing, 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 is going to be here. So now we get to fix this to something right. Because now you get into, we got to make this smaller too. 14, 12. Jing. Somebody got to be there to account for little Eddie. So little Eddie, mama and daddy. Okay. This would be, we're going to name him Buster. Buster's on the 1820 census because he was born. We're going to take this off. Buster was born in, let's see, 18, I think it was, Buster was born in 1810. We'll just say that because 2030. That puts him at 20 years old. 1810. Whoops. Buster was born in 1810. And he got his son. This is his son. Buster's son is Eddie. Eddie's 5 years old. Ha ha. Now, look at this. Eddie's 5 years old, so he can't speak for himself. That's because his daddy, Buster, was born in 1820. And he can account for his baby, little Eddie, because he's 5 years old. Now, I must remind you that there's probably 14 more other kids, but I'm just doing one. So now, Buster, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are at OTF's sixth generation grandfather who owns a farm, and little Eddie's running around 5 years old on the farm. Okay? Now, hold up. So now, guess what? Not only is Buster, who's let me see, Buster was born in 1820. So 1810, he was born in 1810. So Buster was born in 1810. So we got to put him up here too again. We're going to copy this whole row. Copy. Because this is the ball Buster. Because Buster been alive for a minute. He escaped. All right. Buster is able to account for his baby because Buster was born in 1810. All right. He was born in 1810. And he was 20 years old in 1810. In 1820. I mean, wait, I'm sorry. I'm just excited. Buster was born in 1800. I am so sorry. I'm just overly excited. Let me copy this because this is how serious it gets. Buster was born in 1800. My bad, y'all. I'm just excited because he got 16 kids. All right. So in 1810, he was 10 years old. And 1820, he was 20 years old. 1800, he was just born. Right? This is how you kill him. Now, this is how you kill it. Right now, we about to just wrap it up. Eddie was 5 years old in 1830. Right? So he not talking because his daddy Buster is. Buster was 20 years old with his wife and 16 kids. And well, he probably had about 3 kids at this point. In 1800, at the 1820 census, not only Buster is going to be on the 1820 census, he's going to be on the 1810 census too. Buster. Y'all see that? And guess what? Buster told you when he was 20 years old that his mother and father was born in South Carolina. He'd been telling you since Eddie. Buster been telling you since Eddie. Now, if Buster is telling you that his parents were born in South Carolina, on the 1800 census, Buster's telling you, yo, my parents were born in South Carolina, right? So now guess what you got to do? He's 20 years old, right? So you got to take 20 years off of 1800 because they had But they had Buster in 1800. Let me just highlight it in yellow. Let's see. We'll do it. And what's a good, nice, good color? All right. They had Buster in 1800. All right. That's when he was born. So Buster told the census takers that their dad. Why does this not look like it's catching up? Okay. Buster told the census takers that he was born in South Carolina. He was born in 1800. And he said, my daddy and my mama was born in South Carolina. So guess what you got to do? His parents had him, and he was 20 years old. They had him in 1800. So guess what you get to do? You get to take 20 years off of 1800 minus 1800. 20. That puts you at 1780. Because if you take 20 years off of 1800, you're going to say, okay, well, maybe their parents had them. You take 20 years off, his parents got to be about 20 years old. So the way you figure that out is you take 20 years off of 1800. So now that puts his parents, his dad, who is going to be, damn, how many G's we got? 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We ain't even gonna go. And his name is we'll call him Bowlegs. Since we got, and he's colored. All right. And that puts them at 1780 being born, approximately, before the damn census came out. And 1780, approximately, that he's born. We took him 20 years off of 1800 because we're going to say their parents had him when they were 20 years old. Let's just fake it. All right. Now, 2025 minus 1780. He would be 245 years old right now if he was alive today. But guess what? He's in the ground buried. And that puts him being born at, like I said, 1780. All right? 1780. His father was born in South Carolina. 1780, before the damn census came out. Now, this gets scarier. Because guess what we got to do? Somebody had this baby in 1780. Oh, boing. He was born in 1780. Somebody had a baby in 1780. They had Bowlegs. Baby Bowlegs. Wait a minute. We got to put like a bright color up here. Ooh. They had Bowlegs in 1790. We need to make that black so you can see the number on the census. He was born in 1780. Bowlegs was born in 1780. And, okay. So when the census sheet came out in 1780, he was 10 years old. Bowlegs was 10 years old. Oh. Bowlegs was 10 years old. And there ain't even no census. Bowlegs was 10 years old. But guess what? Bowlegs was said he was born here. And Bowlegs said his mama and daddy was born here. So now guess what? You got to take 20 years off of 1780. That put you at 1760. Because Bowlegs was born. He was born. But he wasn't old enough to talk to the census takers. So we got to put them there, baby. There ain't no census. But guess what? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8. And his name was they repeat names, so we gonna call him Eddie. Big Ed. He was colored. Goddamn paper makes me sick. Now, 1760. 1760 he was born. So you go 2025 minus 1760. That puts him at 265 years old. Okay? Because he was born in 1760. Okay? South Carolina. South Carolina. South Carolina. Because Big Ed, Big Bowlegs told you, my dad, he know who his damn daddy is. Bowlegs said my daddy was born in South Carolina. All of them on the same. So now, he was born in 1760. Oh, it's a hot mess. He was born in 1760. Somebody had this here baby. I'm about to highlight now. Somebody had this baby in 1760. Because he was born in 1760. So who had this baby? Oh, you got to go. This baby was born in 1760. Still no census. This is 9. I'm going to start writing the numbers now. Because this one was 8. 9th grandpa. And his name was Buster. Because they repeat the names. They start naming them after their parents. He was colored. He was colored. And so, 1760, that puts him at 1740. He was born in 1760. He was born in 1740. We're saying that they're 20 years old, just for ha-has. And that would mean 25 minus 1740. God damn, 285. South Carolina, South Carolina, South Carolina. It's a done deal. And it keeps going. Now, this baby, Buster, the 9th grandpa, was born here, but he was born in 1740. Somebody had to have this baby too. But here's the story. Okay? Here's the story. Sheesh. OTF. When you're looking at this, your family was here before the damn Revolutionary War. The Revolutionary War was in 1776. Because this places your ancestor was on the land in 1740. In the same place. So he's was in South Carolina all this time. He ended up in New York. And there you are, little Otis Johnson, OTF. You ended up in New York. Now, you have the Revolutionary War. You done been through the Revolutionary War, and who knows? He could have been harmed in the Revolutionary War. All right. He was born 40, 50, 60, 30 years before the Revolutionary War. No slave ship, still on the land. Then you get up to 1760. You're getting there. Revolutionary War, when Bowlegs said 9, 8th grandpa, 7th grandpa, 6th grandpa, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, same thing. 6. Oh, this is all Buster. Oh man, do that. No, it goes like this. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th grandpa. So like I say, you could be creative and do this any kind of way. Because once you fill in all the gaps and you can begin, I was like, wait a minute. At one point, is this sheet gonna tell me when we got off of slave shit? It ain't happening. You've been here. You always been here. You was here before 99% of the foreigners that come over here and that has been coming over here. Yep. And those ages are very important. Buster has been in the ground. If today he would have been 285 years old. The hell? He's 285 years old right now. Buster is. Because he's in the ground, in the soil. Never came on no slave ship. Facts. 1812. This is wild, y'all. Eddie was 5 years old. So you all these blanks are filled in. You would be able to fill them in. They're easy to fill in. But I'm just saying, we got OTF right here. And we got little OTF Jr., who was born in 2000. Little Otis ancestors been in the ground 285 years on this soil. And it keeps going back. Because remember, this is when he was a baby. He was born here. 1740. He was born in 1740. Buster was. He's a baby being born. So now you got to keep going back fighting his mama and daddy. I'm not going back to 1720, but you get the drift. It's like knowing who had this baby. Every time you put an ancestor there, it's a birth. Nothing is saying Africa or any other land. Who the Indian? When you have this amount of information on your ancestor, even if, let's say, you just even did this, every time somebody's born, let's just say, let's say you're 1800, you stop there. Let's say you stop in 1878. That's when they were born. This is when Butch was born, 1878. But wait, he's told you, oh, when the census taker came around, he told you, he was 8 years old. He got a mama and daddy. Wilbur. It does not stop. Give me a 1 if now you see it. If you're looking at Butch in 1870, everything's over. The states are now acknowledged. And Butch is only 8 years old in 1870. But his daddy, Wilbur, is alive, who was born in the year that it's supposed to be slavery. He ain't no damn slave, and he got a farm. That's because here, let me just do this. Butch would go here since it's 1850. Oop. Copy. Paste. This is going to be 1860 because he's going to be the one to account for it. Wilbur's accounting for this. Wilbur is accounting for all of this. Wilbur can attest to all of this. Look at here. You fill it in. Copy. Oh, come on. Copy. All of this. Paste. Escape. Wilbur can account for all of this. He know who his kid is. He know Butch is his son. Y'all get it? Y'all with it? So, like, when you see a census sheet, you get a census sheet for 1840, right? Or let's see, let's say 1870. Papa Butch, Grandpapa Butch down here in 1870. Just because it's the 1870 census doesn't mean he was born in 1870. Papa Butch could have been like 30 goddamn years old. So you got to subtract 30 from 1870 and then give you his birth year. I'm glad you got it. This is history. This is a document. Let me take all this out. No more color. Okay. Once you fill all this up, once all this is filled up, this is a heading counting headings right here. And you're filling it up with who can attest to it, because they're telling you this would be filled up with Butch. Butch can attest to both of these years, the 80s and the 90s. It's all filled up. There's only a 20-year period between Papa Butch right here and Odell. So that's who goes down here in these two rows. That's why it's easy to fill them up. Paste. Because here, he's 20 years old, 40, 60. Get it? Escape. Butch is 20 years old, right here, 40. Because every year of a census is 10 years. 60, 20, 40, 60. He can attest to all these years. And this puts you on the land in the prospective years. You can go over here and you just fill in the blanks. Put on all the years. And we can make all this a lovely red. And this hurts. Not our fault. But this is how the sheet gets filled up. Who can attest? Every person is 20 years old. You put him at. Okay. Odell, you're going to put Odell here, David here, Granny here. It's filled up. The sheet is filled up, literally. I'm going to fill it up because I promised you guys that I would. Copy. Paste. Hey, I didn't mean to do that. You got Odell and control. There you go. Then you got Papa David. It just fills up because they're 20, 40 years old. These are the people that could attest to it because they're going to be on all these census. We don't have the 1960 census yet. The last one was 1950. This is the last census. 1907, 1928, 48. Copy. All we're doing is filling it in the blanks. Da da da. Easy work. 1960. When the 60 census come out. But guess who's going to be able to do it? Lula might not be here, but guess what? Otis could attest to all of this. Otis in 2000, he could attest to his daddy, granddaddy, grandman. For real. 1960 census is not out, but Otis already know his daddy and grandma and great grandma. Now the sheet's filled up. So by the time you're finished filling the sheet up, I'm just so color coded, ridiculous. Pardon me. But the 1950 was the last census, most recent one. That was the last census. The next one that comes out is going to be the 1960 census. But do you see how now it's all filled up? You have your ancestors on this land in the graves, and it's even more after this. I just went beyond 1790. So we can say this is like 1780, 1760, 1780. We could just put it in there, even though there's no census sheet for it. 1760. Or it would be their birth year, really, because there's no census. So it would be 1740 and 1760. 30 years before a damn census even came out. You have to put their birth year. Because somebody had a baby. Every time a baby, because you know their birth year, they were born here. Somebody had that baby. There it is. So now, when you see this, people on YouTube get mad. They get mad. If you was African, you'd have been called that. So that's cat. Cat. So now you have a document that you put together. Okay, the study of your family. This is how you place your family on the land, along with the damn census sheets to back you up. This is what legally they're going to look at in court. And they look at your census sheets. You always been here. Always been here. So what happens is you get these Slavs like Rob Noxious, okay, born in the late 80s, maybe late 70s, trying to tell you, all right, he's born here, all right, and he's going to come and try to tell you your history. This is what you smack him in the face with. This is what you smack the foreigner whose family came over here in the 1900s on that ship to Ellis Island. Oh yeah, you came on Ellis Island? Here we go, 1900s, late 1900s, okay? Here's the highlight. This is Ellis Island right here. People that came, whose ancestors came in on Ellis Island, all right? You're going to tell me about my what? And you have records, okay? And they just got here with it. See what the yellow is highlighted, y'all? This is why you laugh at them. Your family came in here on from through Ellis Island. The ship, you have pictures of the ship, of you coming in from all these foreign countries in the 1900s. And they're going to come in your face on YouTube and tell you when you got here and you got your records. Oh, you came here in 1900? Yo, you came here in the 1900s and hold up. How many years have your family been on this soil? Let's get it. You came here in the 1900s and I got proof of being in this soil for 285 years, and you came in here in 1907, but yet I'm back here in 1740. This is what you call the golden dagger right there. That's the golden dagger. Let's see here. This it's the golden dagger. You can't make this up. This is why they don't like me, because I'm giving you the visual, and we already got the census sheets. Because not only when they come to you and their ancestors came in here on Ellis Island in the 1900s, Rob, King Kaz, wait a minute, Rob. Your family came here in the 1900s. I got ancestors dead in this soil in the grave that's been in the grave 285 years as of today, because it's 2025. Next year it goes 286 years. And you brought your butt in here how many years later? 10, 20, 30, wait, 40, 50, 1750. Hot diggity dog. How did we get 17 mixed 70? Oh, I know why. 1750, 60. Boy, bye. We in 1740. Don't forget about 1750, 1760, 1770, 1780, 1790. Don't let me put it in there because it's going to look worse. It's going to look a whole, matter of fact, I'm going to do it. I just skipped it out. You shouldn't have. Now you made me do it. Insert. 1750. Ninth grandpa can attest 10 years later is busted. This is just a dagger. A dagger. This is what you call the golden dagger. 1740. Why is that not that color? 1740. He was born in 1740. Oops. South Kakalaki. Boing. He was here in the 1750s. Because he was alive. He had a baby. $1760. We left out two whole 10 years that they're alive. 1760. 17. This just gets it just gets brutal. 1780. Grandpa could do a whole lot. So we put him at 20 years, 20, 40, 60. Boing, boing, boing. Let's just do this the right way. Ding-a-ling-a-ling. 1770. Oh, he was born 1740, though. Oh, that's ninth grandpa. Oops. Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. Eighth grandpa Ed. Big Ed. When did we say Big Ed was born? Oh, yeah, 1760. That's right. Big Ed was born in 1760. Then we got Bowlegs. Bowlegs could attest everything. It's just a wrap. You can't make this up. This is the one I did not need to no fill. No, so you played around. This is joyous time. This becomes 275. It's just a wrap. It's a wrap. They've been here all these years. So now you have view. Let me make the view a little bit more smaller. Zoom. View. Zoom. Zoom it down a little bit. I'll put it at 100%. Ooh, that's too small. Zoom. 140. All right. So now we got 1740 all the way, all these years. And here comes little Rob Noxious with his parents coming here in the 1900s, right? It's just funny, hilarious. Oh, you came from Africa. Okay. Excuse me. You've been here how many years? I mean, like, dude, were you there when my parents came from Africa? Is that the case? Why do we have to be? We were here when everybody got here. Do you realize that we had Indian governors in these years? We got the historical papers. Did you forget? So, how is Africans coming here to be, sir? You didn't make me do it. I guess I might as well. You got to give them the reality checks, man. This is 1755. The governors. We had governors in colonial areas that were brown. Dude, 1755. But wait a minute. Here we go, y'all. 17 right here. These were the governors. There were no census sheets, but we had governors. This is how you make it make sense. Exactly, Lady Moon. We had governors, and where I have it highlighted. So I'm like, I'm done. This is how you show them your ancestor on the land. It's giving this nice little worksheet. That's why they don't like you. Don't even play. Not with me. I'm coming with the document. I'll go and get it. And then you can take that and go get it notarized along with the census sheets. Print it out. Nice and professional. print it out nicely, put all the census sheets, staple them together, walk right up to a notary, get it notarized. You on the land, baby. Simple work. This is the stuff I like doing. Database queen right here. So let me stop the little share screen. This is what I like. I'm too busy. I mean, your history is not up for debate. Why? When you have all the facts. That's all you got to do. They say they want to debate you. Okay, just hand them that little sheet right there. Oh, go forward. Thank you, love. That's all you got to do. Your history ain't up for debate. Theirs is. Just take that little sheet, clip it to the census sheet, and you can go and get that top sheet, that nice spreadsheet. I think the court would rather, if anybody wanted to debate you, but what they want to debate you for? You Indian. You been here. All they had to do is just say, oh, look at the Pequots. Don't I look just like them? Y'all know that girl, that favorite one, the Pequots. She looks just like me with her eyelashes like mine. Let's give him that sheet and get it notarized. Notary. Get it notarized. It's a wrap. Your history is not up for debate. That spreadsheet. The court will look at that nicely put spreadsheet. As long as you have you have your census sheets attached to the back. They're going to look at your spreadsheet because they like to look at professional stuff. Oh, it's nicely written out. And if they want to peek back there and look at the census sheet, they know you're not going to be lying because you got the census sheet attached to it. But when they see nice things like that, yeah. Oh. Smash that like button, y'all. I'll open up the panel now because I would really like if anyone has questions. I would love to hear your questions. I'll put the link in the chat. Wow. Been on. Come tell me what you think, Copper, or anybody. I don't care. Whoever wants to pop up. Tell me what you think about the spreadsheet. I'll play the music till you get up here, put a little song, give you a little time to get up here. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the census study sheet. And you could create it your own way. You might have another nice, funky way. But I'll wait.
But
Hey, Curious.
you know I like that damn song. You ain't sent me that name of that
Oh,
song yet. That damn
oh,
song is
it's
fire.
called ES Inner City Buzz by Wendy. I'll email it to you.
Okay.
It's by
I,
Wendy Marcini. It's on Epic Sounds.
okay,
I'm
that's
surprised you ain't got your self-registered with them where you
that
play
song.
songs.
I got Apple, but I'll look on Apple. That song is fire. I like that.
Yeah.
You did yeah, your Excel spreadsheet is tight though. I really like that. I've been back in the back on Ancestry looking through them damn documents. It's they there. I mean, all them documents is there. I found some contracts, some some uh some indentures. They on there. You just have to search. Uh,
hmm
they there. It's a lot of information there. That's all I can say.
Oh yeah, they're not even hiding it anymore at this
No,
point.
yeah, it's
They're
there.
even putting them out there and say, you know what? Pff, they're not hiding it anymore.
No, and so what you created there, that's a really nice way of just putting that out, putting a chronological list of your ancestors and the dates
hmm
and stuff is really nice.
Yep.
Um,
And all I did was, you literally just look at your tree when it's finished,
right.
and you just go from yourself to the last ancestor on the
On
tree
your tree. Right. Right.
directly. This is direct, all direct bloodline.
Right. Right. Yeah, I've been working with some of my other family members down in Mississippi, state line, Mississippi, and
Oh,
she's trying,
Mississippi.
yeah, she's trying to write a book, and so I sent her some stuff this weekend, and she like, I'm gonna have to give you an honorary member mention in my book. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
you don't have to do that. I just we sharing information, and I think I found something that's very very important for them, and then she was so excited she called me back with her sister and another one of our cousins on the phone, and she said, "Now you tell them what you found." And so they confirmed, a name that I've been trying to connect to the family, and so I think I'm close to the right name and being able to go back to at least 1800. So I'm close. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've been doing the work this weekend. You know how it get though. You get frustrated when you just like shit. Let me get off this damn thing. The
But
the, the
when you put the spreadsheet up, it really makes you feel good, and you don't realize how much work you did
right, right, right,
until you
right,
put it up because it's like you're in the treasure pot, still in the treasure pot. But
right,
when you lay it out and look at it, and you're like, wow, wait a minute,
right,
do I
right,
need to stop now?
right,
So it's like I highlighted the 1900s down here
right,
because when I laugh at the people that come in from Ellis Island, you know, speaking so harshly about us. And the first thing I do is look at the yellow highlight and then look at the blue one at the top.
mm-hmm.
So when Rob Noxious does come around, I'm just like this.
Right, yeah, yeah. I
He said,
mean,
my family came in here in the 1900s. And then these are the same people trying to tell you
who
where
you are,
you came from. And
right,
then I just laugh when they say, now when Rob come around, I'm just like,
right. He's got the same narrative. He's pushing the same narrative.
that's
All you
all you
guys,
got to do now.
yeah, you guys you don't know what you're talking about, and he pushes that narrative to get a rise out of people. If I had my own channel, that clown wouldn't come on none of my stuff. I'm telling you,
Oh, I don't let him on my channel. He come in here under all these different names.
yeah,
And when I look at this, this is the same attitude I give to the Pan Africans
right,
when they're, well, where's the ship? Did it come in 1740? Because Buster was born in South Carolina,
right,
and he is dead now. As of now, he's been in the soil 285 years, and his blood line is still here.
right,
So you're coming in the 1900s. You got to back up.
Right, right. I found one of my relatives. They were born in 1840 in
Yeah.
Alabama, and she died in 1955.
Okay. That's what I'm seeing on mine.
In
I'm still playing with
1955.
mine. I'm like, oh,
She was 115 years old when she died. Old, old, and her daughter lived to be 100 and something, 100 like 102.
that's amazing.
I know the shit that they saw. I wish I
When I
had
first
it.
did mine, I stopped at 1878, curious.
Yeah,
And then I got in my mood when I said, you know what, I'm gonna have some tea. And I sat up in the bed with the laptop and all the way back. I'm back. I'm back. So I said, okay, I'm tired. And the first thing I look for is the color. And it might not be it's not a census sheet at this point when you're in
right.
when you're back, in
1840.
17
Yeah,
1780. Ain't no census sheet. And it's like, but what is it? Is it a death certificate? You're
right,
finding death certificates and they're identifying the color and it's saying colored. It's not saying African.
right, right.
And I go and I pull the damn uh um what do you call it? The service records for the drafts for I'm like, oh my God, they were in all these wars. And
Yeah,
I'm like, and you look at it and it's saying colored, colored, colored.
color, color, color. Yeah, you're right. You know, one thing that came to me when you were talking earlier, how they started the census, the United States Census at 1790, but we never thought about the continental, the Confederacy, Continental Confederacy, or whatever they called themselves prior to 1790.
Continental Congress.
Yes, never thought about that until I just thought about that as you was talking. I said, well, wait a minute. If they started the census in 1790, but the America or the colonies or whatever you want to say, they were started way before them. It has to be some form of record keeping for those people that was there for in that time frame prior to 1790, and it don't have to be under the United States Census. It's got to be under the Continental Army or Continental something or the Confederacy, the Articles of Confederation, whatever is under something of that nature. It just came to me as we was talking. Just
Yeah,
came.
prior to like 1790, because even 1790, that's not us.
No.
Those are all the colonials and their subjects.
Yep. Yep.
Because prior to 1790, it was British records,
Right. It's got to
and
be something
that
here.
wasn't us. It
Yeah.
wasn't us. That was them doing business on our land. But what I'm finding that really helps us is when we're getting back to like 1790 and 1780, curious, you're finding the death certificates, you're finding grave sites,
Right.
pictures of grave sites,
Right.
and you're finding marriage certificates.
Right. Right. Right.
So that's all they really had for us. I mean, we were not enumerated people.
Right. 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 Yeah, I'm thinking, like I say, I'm like, damn, nobody never talked about the Articles of Confederation and what was it called prior to the United States? It was Americas. It was called something, and
Mm,
and these people had to have some kind of record keeping, like you say. If we were in having our, if they had uh, government forms of government, there was somebody's doing, maintaining some information on the people in that area. That's all I'm conveying. But like I say, it's their own ancestry for the flicking. You
it
just
was
got
the Indians, chief,
yeah.
because like I said, we were not. They counted us as a whole, and I have that. I read that document the other day when I came live, and they counted us the non-population schedules.
Yes.
That's us.
Right.
That's what they had on us, the non-population schedules.
Yeah.
So what they did was just not so much enumerated us, but they just counted us so that they could assign the correct number of representatives to represent in Congress.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it tells you that they were really not enumerated. A lot of them were not enumerated because they're the area in which that we were using to feed ourselves on our own farms was less than 2 and 3 acres. Was like 2 and 3 acres,
Mm-hmm.
and it could have been a family of 10, but they only maintained like 2 or 3 acres, use 2 or 3 acres of their land to make food. But the other like 50 acres was families living in those little houses.
Right. Right.
And so what they did was just counted us so they
Right.
can get the right number of representatives.
Yeah. My mother, she had a delayed birth certificate, and that stuck out to me when I'm doing
Yeah, I
research.
seen a lot of those too.
Delayed birth certificate. That's significant because that means that they wasn't in. And this is 19. She didn't get her birth certificate to 1956,
1800s. Yeah.
1956, and she was born in like 1926. So she
What
didn't.
state was she born in? Where were they?
Alabama, Mississippi, Mississippi, state line, Laura, Mississippi, down in that area,
So
Mississippi,
all your family just strictly came from Mississippi?
Mississippi, Alabama, North Carolina, Virginia.
I
Um,
mean, like, were they born there? Like,
yes, my mother was born in Alabama.
because it
That's
was a starting point. You got your mom's side and you got your
yeah,
dad's side.
yeah.
The starting point of your mom's side, where were
Uh,
they?
Alabama and Mississippi. My grandmother was born in Mississippi, state line, Mississippi. That's
Oh,
in
wow. So you got
that's
some Choctaws and Chickasaws.
yeah, Greene County, Greene County. That's Greene County, Mississippi. That's where she was born at. And my father's people was born in a little town called Talbot County, Georgia. That was my grandfather. And then my grandmother was born, his mother was born in Bellamina, Alabama, which is um, next to Huntsville. That's my grandmother always say she was Cherokee. That
Mm.
that's the one she always said. She said, I'm Cherokee. I ain't no I'm not colored. I'm Cherokee. My mom was full blooded Cherokee. And so
Yeah, Cherokees was all over the place. They was even here in Connecticut.
yeah, they
They
were.
got a whole street around the corner from me,
Yeah,
Cherokee Cemetery too.
yeah. And so she
Indian,
and
Indian
so
Hills.
and so when I went down to Bellamina, Alabama or Huntsville, Alabama, 2 years ago, she wasn't lying because what I found was that the Trail of Tears went straight through Bellamina, uh, Huntsville, Alabama. The Trail of Tears actually historical marker is right there in Huntsville, Alabama, and so that's where her people came out of. So as you look and decode your own family past and what your grandmother said, your grandmothers, they know who they were. They knew who their mama and daddy were. Yeah, I mean, come on now. We
Yeah,
a lot of people want to still hold on to the fact what they learned in the public education system, and sometimes you have to look at it and say, well, mama said and grandma said this, and that's what grandma knew. Grandma knew who she was, who her people was, and so she ain't wrong, I mean, at this point,
right,
at this point where people should know what they people say and believe in what trust and believe what they people say. A lot of times you hear the story as, well, we got part Indian in us. Well, all that means is one part side of your family comes from one group of Indians, and the other side of the family comes from another group of people, a group of Indians. Really, you can call yourself a mulatto because you're not straight from one tribe. Your mom and daddy didn't come from one group of people. So really, you're a mulatto, a mixed blood, because you come from many different nations. Just like me, my family came from many different locations on the United from the East Coast, many locations. So and they all, had their different affiliations to the group of people that they came from. So that makes me what I am. And as I've been learning, I'm like, man, come on, it ain't hard to understand this thing. You gotta wake
no, it's
up.
not.
You gotta wake up and see it and get your documentation right, put it on paper, and then challenge it. What the judge and make sure you fill out your what is it called? Uh what's the document called when you fill it out? I forget the name of it now. It came to me. Fill it out and make sure that you get it notarized. And he has to challenge it. If somebody don't challenge it, then they have to do the same kind of document to challenge your document. That's all it's about, is knowing how to win this, play the system. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all it's about. Saying it was
It's like I tell people,
hard.
you, you know, when you're looking, when they're in like 1800, 1860, 50, those are non-population schedules.
Right.
And then prior to that, like when you're getting to 1790, you're not going to have a 1790 census.
No.
That was like free whites. But what you will find in 1790 is a grave
Right.
that says Billy Bowlegs,
Billy Boy.
rest in peace, 1780 to whenever he died. Right there on the grave. That's all you have. The
Right.
grave is sentimental to you.
Right.
That's what puts your ancestor here.
Right.
So when you're looking at 1790, you're looking for graves, death certificates, and birth certificates. Prior to 1790, 1790 and back, you're not looking for census sheets. You're looking for graveyards. You take a picture of them. A lot of your families take those pictures and put them on there on Ancestry.
Yeah.
Or you take a trip and go and snap a picture of your ancestor's grave.
Right. I
It
went
has their birth year and
in the
death.
past year, and I went to uh, State Line, Mississippi. I was there. They call it Knobtown. Uh,
Where?
Knobtown, Mississippi. They call it Knobtown and State Line, Mississippi. I was there this summer. No, back in September. I went to a funeral in
Mhm.
Mississippi, and I went to my family's uh, graveyard, and they all laid. They a lot of them is laid out in this. It's like 2 or 3 acres of land that they converted over to a family cemetery, and they all laid out in there. And
Wow.
the oldest two, and I took videos of it. I was a little bit sentimental, but the oldest two graves in there, their grave marker was just a rock with some hand chisel uh, dates on the daggone rock, and they had been there for a long period of time, and so they're there, and you can see, you can see the because the different lineages, you can see this group of family members is buried on this section. This group of family with this last name is buried on this section. This group,
Yeah.
this group of family members with this last name is buried over here. And there go great granddaddy, great grandmama. They all buried over in the same section next to each other. So if you learn your family's history, you can definitely go and go to especially down in the South.
Right.
A lot of us have family cemeteries. You just don't know it, but a lot of us have it. Once you start
Yeah.
really researching your families, you'll see them. It's very much so there. I took pictures, videos. I'm sentimental as hell. I'm like, I'm walking on my
Yeah,
land.
they're
You
very sentimental. That's what put them in the soil.
I'm walking on the land that my forefathers carved out and edged up and kept trimmed up and stuff. I'm walking on this land where everybody is buried at. Uh, I couldn't find my great grandmother. I believe that I believe I found her head, her grave, but because of the time that she was buried in, I couldn't find any markings on her particular grave. But I believe that I
But isn't there's not a at that point there probably wasn't like a funeral home, was it?
No, well, they used a funeral home, but they didn't. That cemetery, like I say, it's a family cemetery. Someone keeps it cut, somebody keeps it trimmed around the graves, but there's no like you go to a cemetery in a city that 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 says, okay, such and such Bi- Billy Bowlegs is buried right here in this slot, in slot number this. It's not like that. They just they all buried in there, and I gotta ask my one cousin about it, but I don't think nobody keeps who's marked where. It's just family members is there.
Right.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
yeah, it's pretty interesting. I was all sentimental down in them daggone dirt. It was right off a dirt road when I tell you. When I
It
tell
gets you. It gets like that, you
oh
know.
my God.
It gets into this. When I look at this, something like this, because I have my own spreadsheet, and I look at it, and you can't get you immediately are not frustrated. You like your research was not done in vain because that's a lot of years.
Yep.
1740 all the way, and it still keeps going.
Yeah.
'Cause the
Yeah.
babies are being born, and it's like you're getting death certificates, and even on the death certificates, it's not saying that this individual came in from Africa, and
No.
that's what's like golden for you
Yeah.
when you get that death certificate. And they do have death certificates where someone was born in like 1740 and died in like the 1800s.
Right.
And
What I found that especially in Mississippi, I'm gonna use Mississippi. They call it the Mississippi Index of, I believe it says Mississippi Indexes of Death, right? And this is the ones prior to 18, I mean, let's say 1920, 1920. It's an index there that they keep. And if you know the date that your ancestor died, you can go to the index and you can see, and it's a certificate number there.
yep,
Yep, it's a certificate number there, and it's got color. It's got it's got color. It don't say African. It don't say none of that bullshit, but it's got color there. And
yeah,
and as I've been doing the research this last week, I'm like, well, god dang, it's a whole bunch of them. So you go into that index and you type in the last name and the date that you think that the person died. You can't, no, sometimes you can't type in a first name because then it gives you all these other different options. So you want to type in that last name and a date. And once you type in that date and whether it's female or male, you don't even have to type in female or male because what that index is going to do is going to bring up all the McCanns. And if you have a knowledge of, I just told you my folks' last name, all the say McCanns, not
mhm,
McCants, McCanns. And when you start searching them McCanns out, man, it's like it is a billion of them. And so my one cousin, she was telling me that they came in the early 1900s prior to the 19 prior to the Racial Integrity Act, and they forced some of the people out of, let me just tell you this: the movie, The Free State of Jones. You ever watched that movie? If anybody ever seen it, it's a good movie. The swamps was that's the swamp area where my ancestors came from. Down there, they was hiding out in the swamps. That's where they lived at.
mhm,
And so when they forced, after the war, they somebody wanted to come and develop the land, so they told on the group of Indians that was there that they would have to move, right? And they came and forced them off there out from in that area because somebody else wanted, because the area is always enriched in natural resources, whether it's wood, whether it's natural gas, whether it's oil. And a lot of that land down there in Mississippi, it has, especially in that area where they're from, it has, minerals there that could be harvested, that could be used. And my cousin was telling me that she was telling me not too long ago. She said, I get tired of these people coming here asking me to buy this land. They want to buy it. They want to wait us out to see if they can get this land because they know it's oil on there. I'm like, well, shit, cuz if it's oil, then you need. She got a master. I said, you need to put a contract together and lease it to them, and lease them a section of that particular back there behind this in the swamp where you think that they think there's oil at. You need to, set up something and lease it to them, so that way you
Mm.
don't lose the power of your land. So as like I say, so they, as I was saying, they just they back there, and it's really a lot of nothing about, like y'all always say, it's about the land and the resources from the land. But they it's a, all you gotta do is do your research of your family, man.
Yeah.
Damn, these people tell you. We done what really upsets me the most, and it not upsets me, but it's like we was duped all our lives, not knowing that this was who we were, and we took strangers' words over our family members and said, "Oh well, they don't know what they talking about," and that's a shame. And nobody today should even have to debate on none of that shit, especially if your grandmama
Mhm.
told. I mean, it's just a revolving cycle. A lot of guys do that back and forth, big arguments and debates for views, man.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But I tell, people like Lex and Omar and all these Pan Africans. Yes, there's pretendians. They're right here. They call Sons of Liberty because they had to put soot on their face to pretend to be Indians, letting the
You're right.
British know that they were no longer going to be part of supporting them. So they dressed like Indians. So these are the pretendians,
Right.
and they write it, and it's primary source information. And so now when Umar and the Pan Africans, they tell you and they want to talk about pretendians, here we go.
Yeah, they
Sons
laugh.
of Liberty.
Yeah, they laugh. They people, you know, we. I'm gonna say it this way because I ain't trying to be offensive. Those guys is pushing that narrative of the government owe us. The government owe us because we were slaves, and they owe us. They owe, man. Come on, you got to wake up. This argument has been going on for years, and every time a election come to a point, they always say, "Well, we're gonna do a study." They've been doing studies for years, and they ain't figured the shit out yet. Come on, wake up.
Ain't nobody doing those studies. Let me tell you, when they get ready to want to sue for being a slave, they can sue their grandparents because that's who they were slaving for out in the fields in the South.
You're right. A
We're
lot.
on our own farmland. So write your lawsuit up and sue your dead granny and grandpa for
Yeah.
making you right or work out in the hot sun and giving you 40 and 50 lashes on your back. Because that was your grandpa and your grandma.
Wow.
We
Wow.
weren't even enumerated. When you look at it, it's like, wait a minute. These Pan Africans are, trying to fight for some damn reparations for slavery. Well, first of all, if you're Pan African, Africans wasn't slaves over here. The Indians were enslaved on the
Play
mainland.
first. Right.
We were enslaved, and we were enslaved by our own people. Secondly, if you're Pan African, and some of them can be Africans, because, like I said, the British subjects were in the islands. So you need to go and sue the British people because those are the ones you begged to take you out of here after the Civil War. You begged for them to take you because you said the Union soldiers would enslave you and treat you terrible. So you left out of here. Now you're coming back with a whole accent talking about you want some reparations. Y'all better go ahead on, wake up and smell the coffee because you're not getting it before the Indians.
Right. Right. Reparations is a whole. It's just a farce.
Facts.
It's been a farce, and people.
It's a joke.
Yeah.
They're the joke.
And you got to wake up and see it. If you don't see it, then shame on you. You run around. Oh,
Facts.
we need to have reparations for. Man, come on, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
It
A
just
hot
upset.
mess.
I don't even like talking about it because it's just it's a damn mood point at this point to talk about reparations.
A
It's just a
joke.
mood point. Yeah.
A
But
joke.
but yeah, you're correct. a lot of our people own their own farms, own plantations, and they had contracts. I'm finding these contracts. I was like, well, what in the world? They there. I can say one thing. When Dane Calloway said that, man, them contracts is there, you can find them contracts. They own ancestry. You just have to go to where it says when you click on search and go down to them cards and click on them cards, and you could tailor that shit down to find what you're looking for.
Facts.
It's there. I mean, and it ain't no guessing. You just have to do the work, one document at a time, one family member at a time. Like you say, trace from you back to your grandparents, from your grandparents to their parents. From you can trace it. It's there. It's and like you say, it's a reason why we all came under about 1870, 1860. You'll start seeing them use white, black, colored. You'll start seeing it using
Yeah.
that. You'll start
Facts.
seeing because that's when they started it, right around that time frame. But up until then, well, I can say 1830 because I done saw the 1830 census,
Yeah.
and it says free people of color on that one and free white people.
Yep.
And when you see that, you're like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean by free white people? No, because white folks was enslaved. That's why. And they don't separate the white slaves from the black slaves.
Facts.
They just say slaves, 2 million.
Facts.
I done saw it.
Facts.
I done saw it for myself. I should have bought the damn book, but I was that they wanted $900 for that book at the time. I'm like, shit, I ain't spend that kind of money on. I took pictures of it though. I got it on my.
I know that's right.
I took pictures of it. So somebody
Mm-mm.
you show somebody and you're like, well, wait a minute. No, that's what it says. 12 million in the college. It was 12,866 free people of color in 1830. So who's the free people of color? The Indians.
Facts.
Come
There
on,
it is. The unacknowledged one. They got the ones that they wanted to federally recognize,
that's it.
but
Apple.
now they're changing in Congress. They're even, and what I like is in Congress they're actually allowing the individual Indians, but you got to handle it yourself to recognize you. They are recognizing individual Indians,
Mm-hmm.
and I appreciate that. I do.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to have your papers professional, nicely laid out for them to read, and it is what it is. So when you see people not doing footwork, it's because they're just not going to. They're just playing a game with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not real. I no, I don't even watch debates. It's funny now. I watch it just to laugh now. But behind the scenes, what you saw me do with the spreadsheet, that is stuff that I do.
Right. Right.
That's
Right.
important because it's important,
It is.
and you should get it notarized.
Yeah. Or certified a true copy, however you want to do it. No, notarized, certified true copy.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's so that way when because I believe when you go into court, you got to have a bunch of all your documents has to be
but you
certified.
don't. That's the thing. You don't go into court. You go to the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Why
Damn
are
they
people going to court?
well, I mean for your birth certificate, I know in the state of Ohio, I was writing the whatever he's called the birth certificate guru, and he sent me a letter back saying that I would have to go through the go to a local Butler County court, the court that I was born in, to have my birth certificate changed. But
Yeah.
it's contradictory to what the code says in the state. So no matter what I went back and forth with him like 3 or 4 times. So finally, I'm gonna have to put the all the documentation together and go to have my birth certificate changed. It's just something about that in my mind that was the starting point. And
So
really,
you didn't go to a probate court?
yeah, I'm gonna have to go to probate court.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. And but you got to
There
have
you are.
all your documents together for that. You know,
Yeah.
I like I told you, I did the social security shit form. What is it? Form
Yeah,
five.
that's easy. You could just walk in the office and they do that
Yeah, I
for you. You
did
don't even
that.
have to have an appointment.
Yeah, I did that. I did that one. So the girl, the lady said, "Well, good for you." See, that's the funny part of it. When you go in and change shit, and the white woman tell you, "Oh, that's good for you." Uh,
All you're doing is professionally correcting it.
yeah, that's all you doing. You don't have to be scared. You don't have none of that crap. Just go up there and do it. Get the form, sign the damn form, and give it back to them, and then you'll get a updated Social Security card. Uh, you know, because you done made the change, you'll get a letter saying that we made the corrections or whatever how they use it. But that's how they did me. So I did that one, but I haven't been in the probate court yet because I'm
No.
trying to. I got the documents together. I just haven't. I've been slagging on that, but yeah, it's a lot of stuff you can do.
It depends on what state you in. Some states are flexible. Like Connecticut, they don't give you any slack, man. They don't. Connecticut is like really probably one of the fair states, that they don't care, they don't mind. I mean, it's no big deal in Connecticut.
Right,
They're
right,
not hard on you like that in Connecticut.
yeah. Well,
They do respect Indians in Connecticut. I could tell you that. That I can't even, I can't even. I got to keep it real, and it's the truth. Is the truth, and it doesn't matter what governor is in office. They respectful to Indians. They really are.
right.
But I'm gonna get off of here.
All right, Chief.
I
Well,
can't believe I've been on 2.5 hours.
yeah, you've been on there for a minute.
Yeah, but I really wanted people to see that sheet and they could do it flexible. Like they might even find another creative way to do it. But I just like to give them some tips and pointers,
Right,
when stacking up your documents. But
right.
I love y'all.
All right, Chief.
And all right, thanks, Chief Curtis, for popping up, hollering at me.
All right.
I'm, I'm gonna email you your favorite song, Inner City. And y'all take it easy.